So here we are. You're at a crossroads. You don't know what exactly your purpose is or what it is that you have to accomplish, but you want to win. And today, I'm going to help you do just that with BS Training, Bran Success Training, for winners. The world we live in is competitive. It's like the chicken cross the road, except it's the Autobahn. That's the federally controlled access highway in Germany, widely known for having no federally mandated speed limit. So the chicken is trying to cross a 3 to 4 lane freeway with drivers going anywhere from 60 to 180 miles per hour because everyone sets their own pace. That's what life is about. So the first step, setting up your goals. What do you want to accomplish? There are socially accepted standards for success, but what it really boils down to is what you hope to accomplish. The secret sauce is this. If you did what you wanted to do with your life, then you succeeded. So if your lifetime goal is to shoot heroin until authorities find you dead in a dumpster, well, congrats, buddy. You did it. Some people have goals of financial success, raising a family, maybe a career, or fame and fortune. Everyone's different. It's up to you to figure out where you draw the line. A good example is a book by the beloved Grant Cardone titled The 10 Times Rule. I'll break it down for you so you can save your money for drugs. Now, the 10 Times Rule is based on the idea that you should figure out what you want to do, what goal you have, be it making a certain amount of money, finding your ideal loved one, achieving a certain body fat percentage, and multiply the effort and time you think it will take by 10. That way you'll have a more accurate idea of how much time and effort it will actually take. And if it doesn't take 10 times more effort than you anticipated, great. It's better to be pleasantly surprised than greatly disappointed. So in conclusion, everything is hard, and as hard as you may think everything is, it's 10 times harder. So you might want to give up. Don't spend your life chasing the unattainable. Nothing is possible. I'm paraphrasing here, but that's what our boy Grant was getting at. The next part is seek the experience, not the results. So they say you don't want to necessarily jump from conclusions on any particular thing you're chasing. One trick that's used by many to create a never-ending waterfall of sympathy and understanding for their lack of accomplishments is that they're still learning. I know I'm sleeping on my mom's couch and she's making me pizza rolls while I watch American Ninja Warrior reruns, but that's because I'm on the journey for knowledge. Same reason people go to college. I'm patiently learning the ways of the world. Don't rush it, things come after time. Sometimes that's 10 to 12 years later. The next part is make the journey enjoyable. You want to know why some people take a lifetime to accomplish their goals? It's because they've taken plenty of stops along the way to sit back and enjoy it. It's like you're on a road trip, but you have to get off at every exit to use the restaurant at a rundown Exxon gas station. Except it's a good time for you, and you enjoy it. Everything in perspective is A-OK, as long as everyone is laughing and having a good time. Use your imagination. Close your eyes for just a second, just imagine. Get the wheels turning in your brain for a second. Think about what if all my problems were gone and everything I ever wanted was right in front of me right now. How does that feel? Pretty good. It's beautiful. Now open your eyes. Welcome back to reality. Wasn't that nice? That's called a daydream. You're going to have to do a whole lot of that during your lifetime. Dissociate yourself, commiserate yourself, and learn not to hate yourself. You can change friends, you can change spouses, you can change your location and everything that you do. However, you're stuck with yourself. What you are is what you have. I'm sorry, but that's the way it is, so you might as well get used to it. Practice every morning by waking up, looking at yourself in the mirror and saying, hey, you're not so bad, it could be worse. The next part is distractions. People say you shouldn't have distractions in your life. They also say the government creates situations, tragedies, and unimaginable chaos and turmoil to distract you from what's really going on. Well, thank you, government. If that's the extent you're willing to go to prevent us from knowing what's going on, well, I don't want to know what's going on. You'll be much happier with your low income and your loneliness if you get internet and Netflix and Hulu accounts. You'll be able to create a sanctuary of constant distraction from the pain that is in your life. It's medication. You need to take your medicine. And the last step is planning ahead. Financial guru, radio host, and America's sweetheart Dave Ramsey says that if your income is less than $20,000 in a year, you should set aside an emergency fund of at least $1,000 to be prepared for any situation. Now that's 5% of this person's income, so let's do the math for a second. Let's say you're 30 years old. Now you're married, you have a pet to pretend you can fathom what children are like when you have your friends around that are parents. Your income is $35,000 per year. Your wife makes $40,000 per year. Now, if you're not thinking successfully, you're thinking, okay, Brandon, $3,750 in an emergency fund because that's 5% of their income. That's $75,000. Well, let me educate you for a second. We're going to have an emergency fund of $1,750 because that's based on your income, not the wife that's going to divorce you in a few years once the spark is gone. Now, if you divorce, it's likely they could take 50% of your assets. So we're going to account for that in our emergency fund as well. So let's say you have $50,000 in liquid assets. Well, that's $25,000 in possible money coming out of your pocket. So now we're going to need a total financial fund of $26,750. Now, according to statistics, the average marriage is shown to last 8.2 years. So if we go into the marriage with an emergency fund of $1,750 initially, and we do our divorce takes half my assets fund, we're still going to need $25,000 plus the $1,750. Now, thankfully, with an average of 8.2 years, that means we only need to set aside $3,048 a year for 8.2 years, which is roughly $60.97 a week, which you can tell your wife you're spending on your gym membership, therefore creating the ultimate backup plan. You're going to want to create a rotating algorithm of friends and associates to replace any given friend or acquaintance at the drop of a hat. To do this, let's say you have 4 close friends. Now, studies show, according to statistics, the average friendship length is 7 years. So during our 8.2 average length marriage, it appears we're going to potentially lose our close friends we gathered up at that point, and you need to note that friends you had prior to that point are going to fall out even earlier. So what we're going to do, we're going to create a 10 acquaintance rotating algorithm. Each month you're going to want to send a message to each one stating something like, "Hey, it's good to hear from you. We should get together sometime." Now there's 12 months in a year, so that means we have to spend at least one day with one of those acquaintances every 90 days, which would be a quarter of the year. Now you can do 2 out of the 4 people in January and use February as a month to rest from the social interaction and regain your strength for the month of March. Or you could do 2 in the month of January since it's the longest month of the year, and then you could follow up by doing 1 in February, then 1 in March. It's really up to you how you want to go about doing this, but you need to ensure that you are preparing for the future. So in conclusion, life is very difficult, and you're going to need to be overwhelmed at every single moment of your life to prevent yourself from being sad. You're welcome. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I hope you have a successful life. Hope it really goes the way you want it to go. Tune in next time for something else. Have a good day.